afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to IRX Residency and Citizenship Conclave Virtual Edition. It's great to have you all joining us from different countries, along with our esteemed presenters, together on this platform. Looking at these challenging times, we at GMN Media have put together this platform as an opportunity to educate all our esteemed investors, investment bankers, lawyers, immigration and real estate consultants about attractive citizenship and residency programs on offer. This presentation will be for 15 minutes, followed by 10 minutes of Q&As. I would request all our attendees to be on active speaker mode. During time of Q&A, all attendees are requested to click the raise your hand button on your screen and you will be allowed to ask your question. We will unmute you so that you can ask your question. Since we only have 10 minutes, in case you didn't get your chance to ask your question or your query remains unanswered, the presenter will be available to speak to you in their virtual booth at the IRX Residency and Citizenship Virtual Exhibition. We will post the link on the chat for your reference. Without further delay, I would like to introduce our presenter, Ms. Polina Revzina, partner at Beyond Immigration. She is going to present on US immigration program. Over to you, Polina. Polina, I think you're on mute.
Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for finding the time. So I will start the presentation. I will start sharing the screen now. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, no, maybe?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, excellent. So we are right now speaking to you from our London office, and we will be discussing the options of coming to the UK under the current immigration programs available. So just a minute information about our company. We've been around for more than 20 years now, and we have experience with working with more than 30 different countries which have either residence or citizenship by investment programs. But I have to say with all honesty that UK is absolutely our favorite destination, and that is one of the paramount programs of our expertise. So you are in good hands should you wish to explore UK with us. The current, of course, as you know, there's been changes in the UK immigration system, and ever since the Conservative Party came to power in 2010, they have been exploring options of cutting down migration. But there are still programs available, and the options you can see on your screen today. The ones which are now still active and working are Tier 1 Investor, UK Innovator Program, and Representative of Overseas Business. These are the three routes that we would be covering today in more detail. So the Tier 1 Investor, I'm sure most people would be aware of. It's been around for more than a decade. Right now, the minimum investment is £2 million. And that gives you the right to move to the UK for the investor with family, spouse, and children under 18. There's no English language requirement, so that is the most popular option for our clients from China and Russia, for example, because obviously the language barrier, which doesn't exist for Indian clients, is still a big issue for those countries. And if we look at the statistics, I would say that at least 60, if not 70% of all the Tier 1 investor applications under the 2 million route have recently been from Hong Kong and China. There's an option of UK Innovator. The minimum investment is £50,000. The English language requirement is much more substantial at the level of B2. The main idea is to have an innovative, viable, and scalable business idea. And last but not least, Representative of Overseas Business Visa is actually a hidden gem that not many know about on the market, but hopefully after this very presentation, you will know more. It is the best possible way to come to the UK still available as of now with no minimum investment and English language requirement only at the level of A1. So if we move on to discuss them in more detail, with the Tier 1 Investor Immigration Program, the main idea is that the main applicant makes a passive investment, invests a minimum of £2 million in a portfolio of equities, corporate bonds, UK shares, and it is always has to be an investment in share capital or loan capital of UK active and trading companies. Those companies cannot be engaged in property development, so and it cannot be an investment into property, into real estate in the UK that was designed to protect the UK property market. But definitely it is a good option because unlike many programs in the world, it's not a donation, it's an investment which would be fully returned to you in 5 years. Actually, the investor is free to sell the investment at any point if at one point or another he doesn't require the residence permit in the UK anymore. So the biggest advantages are the processing is very quick. And if we compare, for example, with the United States, where it takes a year or two, or with Canada, where it takes like at least a few years for the family to relocate, which are very much similar programs in comparison, also English-speaking countries, top 5 economies in the world. So here the processing time can be anything from 1 week to 6 weeks, depending whether we submit the application in country or overseas. There's no English language requirement, and this gives the right to study and work in the UK without any restrictions, except for you cannot be a professional sports person. We actually had quite a few Premier League sports football players who are interested because that would give them the right to work in the UK, but they're the only ones who are restricted. And the investment can absolutely be recovered, obviously subject to the market situation, but obviously if the UK companies cannot pay off their debt, then we would all have much bigger problems. So the timeline would look as follows. The first residence permit is granted for 3 years. After 3 years, it can be extended for 2 more years. After 5 years, we can qualify to apply for indefinite leave to remain, and you can see the requirements on your screen. And 12 months after you are granted indefinite leave to remain, you can qualify for British nationality if you were so inclined. There are residency requirements under the Tier 1 Investor Immigration Program, and for indefinite leave to remain, every family member has to be in the UK 185 days. If you wish to proceed to British nationality, then they would look at the 5-year period prior to the British nationality application, and ideally the applicant should not be absent from the UK for more than 450 days prior to the application, no more than 90 in the last 12 months. The English language requirement only comes into, is only required after 5 years at the indefinite leave to remain stage. And obviously we'll share this presentation so that you don't have to memorize it right away. So the main advantage is obviously it's an English-speaking country. It's one of the best places in the world to live, the best education in the world, best possible climate, you know, and weather, in my opinion. It's never too hot, never too cold. It's actually a very attractive tax regime available for resident non-dom individuals, and that is the reason why we have so many wealthy people here in London, because out of the top 5 economies in the world, top 5 countries, destinations, UK is really not the worst in terms of tax. With good and with careful planning in advance, the tax implications can be very minimal. So it is straightforward. The funds would be returned. There's no donation component where you lose the money for good. The processing is very fast, no English language, and most importantly, it gives the right to live, work, study, and it's a straightforward route to get citizenship in the UK. The only disadvantage that we can see is, of course, having to come up with an amount of £2 million. But in the last 15, 20 years, I assure you, we have come across a lot of individuals for whom this is not a problem. The bigger problem for them was maintaining actually residency requirements in the UK. So if we move on to the innovative visa is obviously much more attractive because the minimum threshold is only £50,000. However, it hasn't been as popular, and I think in 2019, it was only introduced in March 2019. So it's been around with us only for a year and a half. In the year of 2019, only 14 applicants were approved. And the reason for that is that the way this works, the main applicant must have a business plan, and he has to prove that his business idea is viable, scalable, and innovative. The decision whether this is indeed the fact would be made by a special endorsement body. An endorsement body is very strict when they review the business plan. If they do make the decision that the idea matches the criteria, then obviously it's smooth sailing from then onwards. However, they are looking for the next maybe Steve Jobs, or for the next Uber, or the next Apple, the next Google. So I know that this program is advertised quite actively, and they say that, for example, if you have a bakery store and you start baking bread with no yeast, then all of a sudden it's innovation. It's not the case. It has to be a genuine, viable, scalable, innovative idea in order for the client to be approved. So far, we actually have only two clients approved under this route. We're hoping that we will see more and more talented innovators coming from India in particular. And the advantages are, of course, all the same, that it is moving to the UK. Also, one of the biggest advantages is that under this program, you can achieve indefinite leave to remain only in 3 years. Permanent residency can be achieved in 3 years, not even in 5 years, like you have to do under the investor visa. However, they are very strict in terms of who they accept as an innovator or who they don't. And last but not least is a representative of overseas business visa. Representative overseas business visa was designed for any overseas reputable company to send their representative to the UK if they have a business need to have one in the UK. So in order to qualify, you have to be a senior employee of the overseas company that doesn't currently have a branch. The parent company must not already have a representative or branch or subsidiary in the UK. The applicant must have been employed for minimum 6 months by the overseas parent company in a decision-making role, but not as the main decision maker. The parent company must grant the applicant full authority to take operational decisions on its behalf in the UK. And the UK entity that will set up must carry out the same type of business as the overseas company. And one of the biggest restrictions is that the main applicant cannot be the majority shareholder in the mother company that sends him. He has to have a credible plan of how they will set up in the UK, these are the requirements as of now. The biggest advantages are, of course, that it's the most cost-efficient option of moving to the UK, and you don't have to open an office in the UK. You can work from home. You don't have to demonstrate some incredible turnover. You don't have to hire people, create jobs in the UK. You just have to, and the extension and ILR stage, you just have to demonstrate that you have generated business for the mother company. The processing is, again, very fast. Dependents can join and the main applicant can come bring their spouse and children. The spouse actually has even more rights in the UK than the main applicant. The spouse is free to take all sorts of employment, to study, to work, to start their own business, to do whatever. Citizenship, again, can only be obtained after a minimum 5 years of residence, and the main applicant cannot take any other employment. He can only work for the mother company that sent them. The great advantage of this particular route is, as of now, only the main applicant is required to maintain residency in the UK. Because under all the other routes, all family members have to meet 185 days a year in the UK requirement. But under this route, only the main applicant has to meet the residency requirements. And provided that he or she does, all the family members, spouse, and children would be granted automatically as a piggyback right, even if they are not in the UK. So I would say that it is quite common for the main applicant to be the mother, for example, the wife. The wife is here with the children. The husband is traveling in and out. As long as she, as the representative, meets the requirements and meets the residency requirements, that way after 5 years, everybody in the family gets indefinitely to remain without even maintaining residency in the UK. So these are the requirements for the permanent resident status in the UK under all the rules. And the most important thing when we are looking at different programs, when we speak to the client, our main difference from all, I would say, from everybody in the market is that we actually try to always define the objective, and we don't specialize in only just one program. We can always find the best possible solution out of different programs that we carry, more than 30 different jurisdictions. But I would say that UK matches almost every possible objective that they may have, be that visa-free travel, obviously with the UK passport. Once it's achieved, you can travel to 183 countries in the world, including United States, Canada, Japan, you name it. It's an excellent plan B because in only 3 to 6 weeks, you can achieve a residence permit, which allows you to live, work, study in the UK and be en route to settlement. So, and even under the investor visa, we actually have some clients who do have it. They don't really reside here, but they just continue to hold the investment and it gets extended, so that they always have a plan B where they can relocate in case something happens. It's an excellent tax planning solution. And actually many of our clients, they decide to become UK tax residents rather than being UK tax residents in their home country, because with careful planning, like I said, it can be very tax efficient. And that is, and obviously the quality of life in the UK is not something that I think we have to advertise for a long time. I think there's barely any country in the world which can match the security, the education, and the overall tolerance, the culture, the history, the architecture that we're exposed here. So I would say that what is important is to identify sales opportunities, because you probably see clients who can be our potential UK prospects every day. So if we look at the case studies, I would say at least 50% of all our clients, they are children studying in the UK as students in universities, and they want to remain in the UK after their studies. So they need the right to work in the UK. Right now, getting a work visa in the UK is extremely difficult unless they're, very bright and talented, and the UK employer wants to sponsor them. We actually have students who were gifted £2 million by parents only for them to have the right to work in the UK so that they can remain here. Actually, one of them was an Indian client who was gifted 10 million by his grandfather only so that he can achieve permanent residence in the UK in 2 years. There's those who are looking at the Plan B solution and insurance policy. UK is obviously a great safe place for that. And those who are looking at the freedom of travel, and those who are looking at the tax planning, they can definitely be excellent candidates for UK immigration options. So we do have those. I think we're running out of time right now. So I think we'll probably skip the cases. But another thing that I would like to mention is Turkey, if you don't mind. There's another program that we work with a lot, and that is, just a second. And Turkey Citizenship by Investment Program, funnily enough, not everyone can understand, but that is also a route to come to the UK, because for those who have Turkish passport, it's possible to get a Turkish business person visa in the UK without any additional investment. So this is something that we will be discussing tomorrow at the panel with my colleague Sirhan. So please stay tuned and come back tomorrow. There is another option of moving to the UK through the Turkey passport. And as a bonus, Turkey citizenship also gives you the right to move to the United States. So if United States is something you're interested in, then Turkey is definitely the way to go. Shall we move on to the questions?
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Polina. We now invite questions from the attendees. You are requested to click the raise your hand button on your screen and we'll unmute you so that you can ask your questions. I believe we have a bunch of questions that have come on Q&A as well as chat as well. You can have a look at it later on. But Lavanya, do you want to, I think we've got a couple of questions that have come in. Do you want to
Yeah,
someone,
so I will start unmuting attendees. So Sandeep Garg, kindly ask your question.
Hi, my name is Sandeep Garg. I'm an immigration consultant having office in US and Dubai and India. And I would be interested to represent them. I can get students. So can I have an association with this company?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the question very well. You're saying you're based in Dubai?
I'm having an immigration consulting company in India. Okay, so I've got a lot of applicants, those who are interested for UK and European countries.
Yes.
So, will it be possible to have an association with you?
You're based in India, you have a lot of clients interested in the UK?
Yes, I believe that's what he's trying to say. And he wants to associate with the company. So I think that you can reach out to Polina and the Beyond
Absolutely, you can reach out to us directly. We have many agents in India, and I know that this is a very, very important market for us. We have a structure in place how we work with our introducers, and we have clients and friends in India already, but we're always looking for more. So you're welcome to just reach out to us directly.
Thank you.
Okay, the next question is by Angad Sopti. Hi, Angad.
Hi. Thanks. So my question is related specifically to overseas business visa applicant. So if I am at stage 1, if I want to first create a mother company in order to then further be the overseas representative, how difficult is it and how much time do you think it would take in your experience?
Okay. It's a very creative approach that you first create the mother company and then you come as a representative. Ideally, the route was designed for established business because definitely we need to show that there's a genuine need for the mother company to have a representative in the UK. So a company which is just fresh from scratch, only established yesterday, which has no turnover, no accounts, no employees, no website, no track record, no reputation, I think it's unlikely to be successful. But again, you never know. Maybe you have mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, which I'm sure you do. And maybe they have a successful business and maybe they need a representative in the UK. So maybe you can explore from an angle of existing business, which already can show turnover, accounts, employees, website, and they actually do need a representative in the UK.
Okay.
If that's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
we have
from an existing business, which is, can I continue?
Angad, for any follow-up questions, you can meet Polina at her booth.
Understood. Okay.
And, get into a private conversation with her and take your discussion forward.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Angad. We have a next question from Priya. Hi, Priya. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Hi. The reason I'm asking you this is it could be a repetitive question because there was some discrepancy in terms of the network. So Angad, what I want to know is I'm inquiring about the UK Tier 1.
Yes.
Okay, so I understand that as a UK Tier 1 investor, I can invest in real estate in the United Kingdom.
No, this is not the case. Investment in real estate is not accepted under Tier 1 investor visa. It used to be accepted until November 2014. And only
Okay.
25% of the investment could be in real estate. But as of November 2014, investment in real estate is not qualifying under the Tier 1 investor program.
So which means that the only option is to get onto the business visa. Is that what you're saying, the UK innovator?
Innovator is an option if you do have an innovative, viable, and scalable idea in the UK. In this case, the minimum required investment is 50,000. But if you
Right.
want to do Tier 1 investor, then you can just invest in loan and share capital of UK active and trading companies. As long as they're
Okay,
not
so which
engaged
means
in
which
real
means
estate,
that
that would qualify.
right. So which means that I cannot actually invest into a property in the United Kingdom. You know, where you said that if right. So I'll have to actually invest into a loan. Is that what you're saying?
You will have to invest in UK active and trading companies by means
UK
of loan
trading,
capital or shared capital. So that means that for, I would say in reality, 95% of our clients, they put together a portfolio of stocks and corporate bonds and equities and shares of UK companies like British Petroleum, British Telecom, Marks and Spencer's, Rolls-Royce, and so on and so forth.
Right. So if I do that, then depending on the program I select. So for example, if I am investing more than 2 million GBP, then I am eligible to get a PR after 5 years and so on. Correct?
Correct. Correct.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Let's do one last question, Lavanya.
Yeah, so we have our next question from Sushant. Sushant, you can go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to know one question. For the UK innovator, the £50,000 investment will be divided into what parts? Either it would be space, rent, material, or what kind of investment?
Okay, the £50,000 you invest in your own business. If you have your own idea, which is viable, scalable, and innovative, once it is approved and confirmed by the endorsement body that that is indeed such, then you put the 50,000 in your own business.
That can be the salary of myself or as well as the other colleagues.
It cannot be used to pay yourself. No, sorry.
So it should be something that my business
For
will
business
have
development.
to, for the daily
Correct.
expenses. All right. Thanks a lot.
Correct.
Okay, great, great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Polina, for your presentation. In case the attendees, for all, this is for you guys, in case you didn't get your chance to ask your question or your query remains unanswered, Polina and the Beyond Immigration team will be available to speak to you at their virtual booth at the IRX Residency and Citizenship virtual exhibition. We will post the link on the chat for your reference. Please join the virtual expo via the link mentioned in the chat. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Thank
for
you
the
for that.
opportunity. Thank you.